Morning guys, I just thought I would do a quick update about my appointment yesterday at the hospital. I went to Southmead to visit my gynaecologist who's going to remove my ovary and my tumour. She's a really lovely lady. She really made me laugh, which put me completely at ease. She kept making little jokes, which was really great, and it made me. I was very stressed out before I went. Even my husband noticed that I was really stressed out, and I was in a terrible mood the day before because I just had this like horrible feeling that she was going to say things that I didn't really want to hear, and I was going to end up angry and annoyed, and it totally wasn't the case. So basically, she said that she would have to do a scan because I haven't had an MRI or a CT since March, and she was obviously a bit worried that things may have grown. So I had to have a vaginal scan, which wasn't very pleasant because the inside of my vagina is actually very sore, because obviously with the fistula I have urine going through my vagina, which is unfortunately very common with a fistula, and because it's so acidic, it's making my vaginal wall very tender and sore. So having a vaginal probe ultrasound was not the most pleasant thing that you could possibly have given me. Not at all, in the slightest. It was very uncomfortable. But what was good was that it did show that the tumour was actually not as big as the MRI had shown, because the MRI had shown it was sort of between 7 to 8 centimetres, but at its biggest it was 6.5 centimetres by 5 centimetres. I mean, that's still quite big, and it's very bulky. It's kind of like lumpy. So if you imagine like it's round like that, and then it has lumps, and then it's kind of what she called all shades of grey, which is why it's complex, because it's not a simple cyst. And then also she made me giggle because she said, well, at least we haven't got any hands and feet going on, or hair and teeth. And I was like, what? And she said it does happen apparently, that some do develop hands and feet, and could you imagine? Yeah. And then she said, and it doesn't look like a scary Mary to me, which did make me laugh. I've had more bloods taken for the CA125, which is looking at ovarian cancer. Obviously she's hoping that that's going to be negative again. She wanted to do a current one because I haven't had one done since March, but she's fairly confident that this is all going to be benign. And one of the things she was saying was that she could actually do the whole operation laparoscopic, because she's actually taken bigger out, to be honest. And basically she'd go in and then put it in a bag, and then they seal the bag up, and then they take the bag out, so the whole thing comes out. She wouldn't necessarily have to open me up completely, but what she was saying is that she's going to have to be guided by the neurosurgery team, because although the neurosurgery team have said that they could do my operation vaginally, which just makes you want to cross your legs, doesn't it? But they can't make that decision until the day of the surgery, because normally I would have a test done before the surgery, which is done under general anaesthetic. And what this does is they use special kinds of speculums and cameras, and they take pictures from underneath, which sounds horrific, and that's why they do it under general anaesthetic. But basically they were saying that they didn't want to put me through an extra general anaesthetic because of my fibromyalgia, because I don't react very well to that, and they obviously want me well for the operation. So they're doing that test on the actual day of the surgery. So they're going to make that decision basically there and then. So basically she is going to be guided by what they do. So if they go vaginally, she will go laparoscopic, as long as it's safe. Because she said if she goes in there with a camera and everything looks like a concrete wall, which is basically adhesions, etc., then she's going to have to convert to abdominal because it's not safe and her tools don't bend, is what she said. But if she goes in there and it's a nice clear view of everything, then obviously she can do it laparoscopic if they're going vaginally. But if they decide it's too difficult to do vaginally and they go abdominal, then she will use their incision to take everything out. And I'm going to go on a patch HRT. I'm going to go on estrogen, whatever they call it. It'll be HRT. Because she did give them the option of having just the cyst removed, the tumour. But because I've had cysts on the other ovary, she felt that, you know, it was more likely that I would just have recurring cysts. And I don't want to have to keep having operations to have them removed or drained or whatever. I'm 45, so I'm actually only about 10 years off menopause, and HRT is quite effective at making things easier anyway. So, you know, I'd rather have the one operation and not keep having to worry about going back. So that was great. So that's what I'm having done. I'm having it all taken out. They're going to decide on the day what's going to happen. So actually, I probably will not know what I've had done until I wake up, which is going to be a bit weird. But I'm going to kind of go with the premise that I'm having it done abdominally, because I haven't exactly had the best of luck when they've tried to go vaginally and laparoscopically. So if I go with the mindset of it's going to be abdominal and prepare for that, then if it's less than that, if it's more, you know, a nicer operation like laparoscopic or vaginally, which apparently is better recovery, then I'll be a lot happier. You know, I'll be happy about that because it'd be easier to recover from. But I won't know until the day basically now. So now I'm just waiting on Euro to get back in touch, because she said she would email them that day to let them know that she's seen me and it's all guns a go. And then I just got to wait and see what happens next, and I'll let you know more when I know more, because that's all I know at the moment. Okay, thank you guys, bye. So I just had a quick word with the Euro team. Just to let them know that I've seen the gynaecologist, and she was a very lovely lady there. Unfortunately, my Euro consultant is on vacation until the 26th of September, which is 2 weeks. But what she's going to do is she's going to ring through to the gynaecologist, and she's going to make sure that everything that they've done and the report from the gynaecologist is in place, so that when he comes back it's right there for him to deal with as soon as he sort of walks in the door. So that, you know, because obviously if she doesn't chase it, it could take time from them to come through, and that just delay things. So she's going to make sure that it's all there, ready for him on his return, and then also make sure that he is fully aware that I've actually had the appointment with the gynaecologist, so then they can set the ball rolling. But yeah, I'm going to have to wait another couple of weeks before I kind of might know anything really. So a bit frustrating that he's on holiday. Why do they always go on holiday when you don't want them to? But you know, yeah, so I'm just going to have to put it with waiting, unfortunately. But yeah, the wheels doth turn slowly. But anyway, I'll let you know as soon as I know anything else. All right, cheers guys. Well, I've just had a truly crappy day. So I've been having a few problems since I had my test on Thursday, with the gynaecologist that I've been flooding suddenly. I don't know if, because I had an internal scan, I don't know if this is like unsettled things or something, but since I had my internal scan, I keep just suddenly flooding, and the thing is, I'm going through so many clothes so quickly that I haven't got enough clothes to then have a spare pair to take with me to work. And so, like on Friday, I had to actually leave work early. I had another client that I was supposed to do, and I couldn't do them, and because I literally stood up and I just flooded all down my jeans, and which was incredibly embarrassing because the service users that I was working with saw it all, and it was very embarrassing, and I had to sit on a plastic bag to finish working with them, so that was incredibly embarrassing. And then I had to ring in and say I can't go to the next client because I've wet myself, basically. And then it happened again today with the same clients, only this time luckily I felt the flooding, and I literally just said I've got to go to the toilet, and I ran to the toilet, and I was able to change the pad, but I'd still wet through my pants, and not all the way through, but I had wet through them, which had gone on to my trousers, but you couldn't see that I'd done it because it was all underneath. Luckily it wasn't so big that you could see it from the front and the back, and I didn't have, because I did all the washing yesterday, I couldn't take any spare clothes with me today because, like I said, I'm going through so many clothes, I'm constantly wetting through them, that I haven't got the spare pair of trousers to take with me today. So I was able to change the pad, but obviously not my pants or my trousers, and I had to work for another 4.5 hours in basically damp clothing, which was awful. And then I just had a really rough shift with one of my clients, which was really rough and sad and upsetting, and I just had a rough time, basically. And I didn't get home until 4 o'clock, so I basically had been in this horrible damp stuff for 5 hours nearly by the time I got home. And obviously, and I was quite sore by that point, because I have been getting quite sore recently, and so yeah, I just had a really shitty day, really. And then I come home and my teenager was moaning because the dogs kept knocking her coffee over, and I was just kind of like, whatever. I was just like, get a grip. I was like, I've had such a shit day, and all these things have happened, and all the things that have, happened in my job, and all this kind of thing, and you think that that's really important, and it just didn't feel very important. I was probably acted like a bit of a jerk about it. No, I probably was a jerk about it, but I was just like, it just seemed like so unimportant, so I just really did not have a good time, and I'm feeling a bit miserable now, to be honest. But what happened today did remind me that I was going to do a video at some point about all the bad points of being incontinent, because it's about awareness, isn't it? So I will do a video about that, and it will be very much TMI for some people, but I think it will be a good thing for other people who are suffering to listen to, because they'll be able to relate to it. And so I'll be very honest about what I've been going through, and I'll do a video about the bad side of incontinence. But anyway, it's Monday, guys. I hope your Monday's been better than mine, and I'll see you soon.